Hi guys, this is Dan. Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. Thank you for watching the channel. This is Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is an all signs collective reading for anybody who sees it whenever you see it. It is originally created for Monday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, right? I think so. I'm pretty sure that's the case. And the moon is in, it's going to be entering into Leo. And then we're going to have a full moon in Leo on Wednesday. But right now, as I'm doing this reading, it's in Cancer. So that's kind of nice. It's kind of sweet. So we should be going from the sort of lush nurturingness of Cancer and that emotionality into the hot, fiery passion of Leo over Valentine's Day. So that's kind of a nice transition. This reading is intended for whoever sees it whenever you see it. So don't get stuck on the date. Don't get stuck on, your sign. It is a collective reading. We share energies collectively across the planet in our day, in our experiences. So if this makes sense to you, great, utilize it. If it doesn't, that's okay. Nothing's wrong or broken. It just may not be your reading right now, okay? What I am going to say is please, for those of you that are new, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, the thumbs up button, leave me a question or comment, and check out the drop-down menu just so that you're aware of kind of things like housekeeping rules and things I want you to know about. And share the video out as much as you can. I'm not the most tech-savvy person, and I don't know how to share videos to YouTube, not to YouTube, but to Instagram. I do have an Instagram. All of that information is in the Linktree link in the drop-down menu. But it's like, I don't know. I got to figure out Instagram. I need like an Instagram guru. I've been talking about that for probably years now. Just Instagram to me is like, it's sort of like rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. So I'm not sure how it works, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. So let's see what the card is for the day. I will refer back to the underpinning energy, which is the Sunday reading, which was just filmed and released. These are filmed a day ahead, so that my Patreon subscribers can see the energy that's coming ahead of time. And so I will refer back to that video. If you're not understanding what I'm talking about, you can watch that video at the end of this video. It'll be in the left-hand corner for the week, okay? So let's see what card is coming up for us today. We have Enigma. Okay, so she was with us last week. She is the High Priestess. She is secrets, girl. Secrets all over the place. She was in Monday's reading, but she showed up in Sunday's reading of last week too, right? And I love that they used the High Priestess as, she was in Sunday and Monday of early last week, and it's interesting that she's showing back up in Monday again a week later, right? To kind of remind us of our own power, to kind of remind us of our own spiritual intelligence, our own intuition, our own connection to our own information rather than the information of others. Remember, in the Sunday reading, right, yesterday's reading, the first card that comes out that underpins her is this Fool card, right, which is the beginning of the major arcana. She's the second card. There's the Fool, then the Magician, then the feminine counterpart, which is the High Priestess, right? She's the more spiritual end of things, but she's also that feminine aspect. And she is being carried by the Fool, or they are working together. So to me, it feels like there is opportunity at the beginning of this week, because major arcana always means big things could happen for us if we're paying attention. That's kind of the feeling that I get from Mona Lisa. When she has her arms in sort of folded over in front of herself, she's protected, right? Her body language speaks to this idea of being somewhat not closed off, but well kept, right? Protected, secure in what she knows. She's also observant in this card, right? The High Priestess is not going to show her hand. She's not going to necessarily give up the information super easily. We may have the information. Some of you may be learning the information today through the High Priestess and the Fool. High Priestess is associated with the sign of Pisces, right? She's highly intuitive. watery. A moon in Cancer, which we're experiencing right now, also would add to that intuition, right? Cancer is associated with the moon, and when they're kind of paired together, the moon is in any of the water signs, really, things tend to get a little bit more intuitive and a little bit more psychic. So listening to those like sort of more subtle, nuanced messages that are coming from within is really maybe key right now. That's my take on this, because the high priestess is, she has foundational knowledge within us, or we have foundational knowledge within us that can support us in ways that maybe we don't quite clearly understand. And when I was looking at yesterday's reading felt very kind of with the Fool opening it up and then the Two of Wands in the center of the week. It's like we get to choose which path we take, and we get to choose how we take that path, right? We get to choose the steps. What was the last card? It was the Queen of Swords. So, and then again, from there, we're using more logic. Right now, with the High Priestess here, it's more about silent observance of maybe what's going on around us, what we're feeling internally, how we're feeling internally, and not from the standpoint of, like, I want to say this, like, the High Priestess has a security about her, a sense of her own intuition, her own spiritual intelligence, that we're not being rocked by our environment. We have the exuberance and the optimism of the Fool to open us up to new avenues and new opportunities and new beginnings, but we have the strength and the wisdom of the High Priestess to guide us if we listen internally, closely enough. Does that make sense? So don't be fearful about anything that is new coming your way. Don't be fearful about making a wrong decision. Let the High Priestess that resides within you guide you. Listen to that voice within you that is spiritual wisdom. We all have it, right? And if you don't know the answer to your situation, or you don't know the decision, which way to go, which choice to make, then wait, pause, because I definitely get this sort of observance, pause. I don't necessarily have to move just yet feeling from this Mona Lisa, right? The secret of Mona Lisa is people have been trying to figure out her painting for years. What was she thinking? Who the hell is she? Why did Da Vinci paint her? There's questions and mysteries surrounding the Mona Lisa in real life that coincide quite nicely with the sort of spiritual secrets that the High Priestess contains within her, that we each contain within our own astral body, right? Our own spiritual self. So allow that part of ourselves to connect to some of the exuberance and the positivity and the openness of the Fool, and then allow it to sort of indicate which direction we go, and how quickly we take that direction. There's no rush, guys. That's kind of also the feeling I get with the High Priestess. The Fool may want to rush a little bit. He might be a little bit excited. The High Priestess reminds us, no, wait, let's just make sure we're kind of really connected to this, that we really fully understand what's going on here, that it's all happening in right timing. She's connected to that, and she will indicate that to us through a feeling, through an emotion, through an intuition, and we have to be a bit willing to pay attention. Sometimes she brings with her riddles or things that are kind of confusing, where we're like, wait, I don't quite understand why that happened that way, but we have to let sort of everything unfolds in front of us, and we will end up understanding. Does that make sense? So the next card is the Seeker, from the Seeker Oracle, is One Faithful Friend. Interesting, because she is giving me High Priestess vibes too. I love the green. I love the light above her head, which indicates she's using her crown chakra or her higher spiritual knowledge, which would be in tune with the High Priestess, right? One Faithful Friend, she's wrapped by this dragon, which is a little bit interesting. It's kind of funny to me because these two decks are so contrasty. This is so muted and these are so colorful. But I kind of like that aspect to it too. It kind of adds a little bit of a real polarity to these readings. One Faithful Friend, to me, the way that I'm going to look at this right now is I feel like that One Faithful Friend, honestly, with the High Priestess showing up, needs to be within us. Our one faithful friend really needs to be our higher self, or our higher understanding, our connection to spirit, our connection to our own higher wisdom at this time, right? Trusting that wisdom, not fretting about, oh shit, like if I go this way, am I making the wrong decision? No, the high priestess is like, no, we'll make the right decision through careful contemplation, right? And with this one faithful friend, she's protected by this dragon, similar to how she's protected by her own wisdom and her arms being folded like gently in front of her. There's an ease about these two ladies. There's a wisdom, there's a connection to nature, especially in one faithful friend, that says to me, and the fact that it's a dragon says to me, she's connected to the spiritual realm in a way that is fierce, that is powerful, and we need to tap into that during this day, right? This is Valentine's Day, guys. Maybe this is about falling in love with ourselves a little bit more at a spiritual level. Maybe this is about like unlocking the secrets of who we are and what's good about us and what we know to be true about our spirits, and then loving that and not protecting that like as if we're in any danger, but you know what I mean? What's the word I'm looking for? Nurturing that, harboring that, building upon that. Does that make sense? So remember, the word for this week, or the grounding stone for this week, is promise, right? What sort of promises have we made to ourselves this week or in our life that we want to achieve? Have we lost sight of those? Are we getting back on track with those? Is life getting a little bit more normal where we can actually start to begin to pursue new avenues and do so with a bit of like, I don't know, these two ladies feel quite self-controlled to me, if you understand what I'm saying. Like the Mona Lisa's arms folded in front of her, and then with our faithful friend, one faithful friend, it's like she's got her arms kind of behind her back, right? So we have sort of, she's protected by the dragon, but it's this interesting like sort of composure both of these ladies are holding right now within this card that maybe we need to hold too. While the excitement and the newness and the new beginnings of the Fool plays underneath this, right? We get to be somewhat in control of our experience, I think is my feeling here, or we get to certainly be in control of how we interact with our experience. And these two ladies feel powerful to me. They feel unswayable, right? They don't feel like, we're going to get rocked by outside situations, people, their needs, what they're doing. We don't care about that, is what these cards say to me. It's not that we don't care. It's just that we're more internal right now. We're more listening to our own inner voice rather than watching and indicating our value by what goes on outside of us. Does that make sense? All right. So one faithful friend, let me read this to you. We all need that one faithful friend who will have our backs in a crisis, sit by us when we are sad, and laugh with us until tears stain our cheeks. But it goes beyond being there for each other in the obvious ways. It also means trusting that both act with the best intentions, trusting that neither would not do the other harm even when they disagree. It is to have faith in each other and the love that is between you. It is a bond that goes beyond loyalty, but nor is it blind. Devoted as you both might be, friends who are faithful can also be honest with each other and question dishonorable behavior that is unfair, unkind, or harmful. To be faithful is to have each other's best interests at heart, but to also hold each other accountable. A faithful friend will stay instead of walking away. Faithfulness is not something that we subscribe to only when times are good. A faithful friend is also there when life gets messy and ugly. They are our companions, sharing in our journey just as we are sharing in theirs. If we are hurting, they choose to do what they can to help us hurt less. They are patient, nurturing, and supportive, like that Cancerian moon, guys. To have faith is to be constant. To have faith is to support. To have faith is to empower. To have faith is to be honest. To have faith is to trust. To have a faithful friend, you must be a faithful friend. I don't know why, but my indication with this is that this is about being a faithful friend to ourselves on some level before we can then in turn give it to others. That's the vibe that I'm getting. And trusting in that faithfulness, right? Trusting in that spiritual strength that these ladies represent. Now let's look to the grounding stone and see what it is. Okay, also on marble, similar to yesterday's promise, is respect. So respecting oneself, grounding in that self-respect first and foremost, right? and honoring that connection, honoring that wisdom, honoring our own faith in ourselves, and allowing that to be unwavering first and foremost could open the door for us to be able to respect others, their situations, and be a faithful friend to them or a strength to them. Remember, the High Priestess is considered a pillar card, right? So she is a source of spiritual strength. If some of you find that you might have friends that need you right now, today might be the day that you need to do that. Be there for them in a way that you didn't even think was possible. These ladies say that it is, right? But first, we need to have that respect of self, that love of self, and that ability to really honor what's deep and wise within us, right? And then when we have that, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to quote RuPaul. What is the quote? Like, how can you love somebody else if you can't love yourself? It's that kind of a thing, right? Well, if you can't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? And that's the truth here. That's what I feel like today's reading is about. So in Valentine's Day, whether you're celebrating with a significant other or not, celebrate it within yourself too, very deeply, and respect that power. All right, that is your reading for the day. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and share it out. Leave a question or comment. Bye-bye.